Hello everyone, my name is Jesse and welcome back to another Bakugan review. Today we're going to be reviewing Julie and Mira's Guardian Bakugan. So, Gorem and Wilda. Yeah. So I got them displayed here right now and we're just going to jump into it, talk about them. I think Subterra is a little underappreciated in the show. And I mean, when you compare them to other characters, I definitely think there is a bias. But when you look at them like as a group together, like in this video, I think you're going to see it a little bit different. And leave a like and drop a comment telling me what your favorite Bakugan is. And if it's Wilda, I might like it. So you'll get a little creator heart thing next to your post. So yeah, without further ado, let's jump into it. All right, and as usual, we start with the card. This time it is Teamwork. Features Gorem, Preyas, and Tigrera. Each Bakugan gets 50 plus G power for each different type of Bakugan they're using in the game. I don't know how entirely useful this card is. I don't really play the game, I just collect. But it'd probably be a good idea for me to learn. Yeah. So let's go ahead and start. So first up we have a B1 Gorem right here. Yeah, so he's not open core unfortunately, but he is a pretty cool Bakugan. Really tiny too. He's got this cool like unique face design on the front, which I find really cool. And then all these like different like geode patterns on the back, like all these different square kind of shapes. A little bit of paint mess up right there if you can see it, kind of not into that. And there's also a hole on top. I don't know if some Bakugan came like this or what, but mine has this little hole. There's the Subterra symbol. I think that's super cool, surrounded by these patterns right here. Gorem has two manual parts, which are these super tiny feet. And we'll go ahead and pop them open. Alright, do a little spin for you guys. Yeah, alright, cool. So Gorem here is 450 Gs, so for a B1 Bakugan, actually pretty tough. Normally you find them in like the 200-300 range. Yeah. Super big fan of like all this color detailing in here. I think it's really nice because it's very prominent in the show. Gorem also closes up easy, so it's just like feet, and then these two things like lock together. So it's super easy to just, you know, do that. And he also rolls really well. Yeah, so I mean for a B1, super tiny, I think Gorem's one of the go-tos for me. Because just because he's so, I don't know, he's so like easy to use and he rolls well. But yeah, I don't know. Gorem, super cool. Alright, and up next is Hammer Gorem. This is Gorem's evolution. Not a big fan of this one. Not gonna lie to you, gonna be up front. He definitely lost a lot of that different like geode pattern that Gorem had. But he did get bigger feet, which is nice. So, I mean, that's a win. The one thing I do like about this one, and I'll show you, I'm gonna go and pop them open and kind of give you a display. The one thing I do like about this evolution is how much bigger it is. I mean, obviously it's a B2, so it's a lot larger, but just like the sheer amount of like length he has right here, and on top, like he looks larger, which I think Subterra Bakugan should have. And then he's got 480 Gs, if you can see right there. Let's make it closer. Yep, 480. So he's a bit tougher than my regular Gorem. I don't understand what this little like sliding bit here is for. It's a little weird. I guess it's just to like lock the Bakugan into place, but it's kind of weird. And he also has one hand that's kind of like larger than the other and moves, which again, not really sure what that is. I mean, it's cool, like don't get me wrong, and it gives him a little bit of like uniqueness. Because I guess if he just had the hand like this one, it would be kind of plain and boring. Yeah, so he's definitely like not my favorite Bakugan, but I do like what they're doing with the Subterra, at least at this point, making them look a little bit larger, at least in terms of Gorem, which I'm pretty glad about because, you know, sometimes it's like, and you'll see this with Wilda too, but like the bigger the Subterra Bakugan is, in my opinion, the better. So yeah, that is Subterra Gorem. He's easy to close, just pop the feet in, and then kind of like lock this in, close the hammer arm or whatever, lock that in, and then pop that shut. Easy, not too hard. He rolls pretty well, kind of gets off balance, but I don't know. So I can get him again. Yeah, see, so not too bad. All right, so that was Julie's team, and now we're going on to Mira's team. So Mira starts out with a Thunder Wilda, and then that evolves into Magma Wilda. Well, Magma Wilda was never released. The final evolution of Wilda, Magma Wilda, was never released as a Bakugan, but Thunder Wilda and regular Wilda were. Now, Wilda, which is what I have in my hand right now, was never seen in the show. All we got was the evolution. So when we met Wilda, he was already evolved into Thunder Wilda. But they released just regular Wilda in the like the toys for the show. So I have the translucent versions of both of them. This is part of me collecting the characters from the second season of the show and as many translucent versions as possible. So I wanted the translucent version of Wilda just so it's cool. I didn't necessarily want this one, just I happened to get. I was really more focused on getting the Thunder Wilda, but I had this one too, so I was like, well, might as well showcase it. So let's go ahead and take a look. I really like the translucentness of this. It's like a light brown champagne tan color. It's pretty nice. And I think my biggest part about this one is the yellow. I think the yellow really stands out and makes it look super defined. So I'm a big fan of that. There's a little bit of coppery bronze paint here, which is also really nice. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and pop it open. So here we go. All right. Yeah, so I think the yellow really makes this one prominent. Just adds more color to it. It's 515 Gs, which is a really odd number. I don't know all the statistics of that, but I think it's a really odd number to have on a Bakugan. Yeah, but I mean, I think Wilda looks pretty tough and a little bit intimidating, which is super nice. Yeah, and he closes up easy, which is lock it in place and then there. And I mean, rolls well. Everything about it's super cool. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm a big fan of this one. Yeah, it's just a super simple Bakugan, easy to play with, and yeah, pretty nice. All right, last up on our list is Thunder Wilda. This is the one you see in the show. Again, I have it in transparent. This Bakugan is really cool for a lot of reasons. The one thing I don't like about it is you have to open it up before you pop open the legs, because if you can see, the legs kind of inhibit this part, which is part of the arm, from coming up. So you can pop the legs out by themselves, but it traps this part of the arm, which doesn't let it open. But as you can see, we lost that yellow, which is kind of interesting. Not sure why that change was made, because it's super cool with all that yellow, but nevertheless, here we are. This one's got a bunch more different holes and detailing and grooves and texture on the top. I've even got some kind of white, I think this might be actually paint from where I bought it from. So not the coolest, but there is a bunch of bumpy texture, which is kind of nice. Yeah, so let's go ahead and open him. Yeah. So here's the feet, and I'll give him a spin for you guys. He's pretty cool. I love how large he is, similar to Hammer Gorem. I think Subterra Bakugan, the bigger and bulkier they are, the cooler. Yeah, so he's 630 Gs, so much stronger than my regular Wilda. You can see that right there. Yeah, so you get the yellow back in his face, but it's just not the same. I don't know. This, to me, Wilda looks like a tank, which is super cool. He's got these weird flap things on the top, and he's just big. He looks really big. He's also a little bit of a pain to close, so you close the legs, and then these two things you have to fold and then kind of pop in there. So it's similar to regular Wilda, but not quite. Yeah. I also want to do a comparison to Hammer Gorem, just to show the largeness of the Subterra Bakugan. So to me, these look super cool because of how large they are, which is always super nice. So that's kind of my point. I think they're really cool when they're fighting each other or when they're next to each other, just because of how large they end up being. And Wilda definitely does that, I think, especially if I pop the feet open on them. Yeah, that's another thing. These guys have huge feet in their evolutions. Oop. They have huge feet in their evolutions, which is also super cool. Yeah. So that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed and maybe learned something. So again, this was Julie and Mira's Guardian Bakugan. And That's it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Feel free to ask me questions. Peace out.